Oh, if you like the August weather, you're going to like the next several days as we're going to start to transition into a more typical summertime pattern out there. Plus, we're still watching a couple systems out in the Atlantic. More on that in just a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the radar loop from earlier today. We did have some heavier showers and storms move through western and southern Acadiana earlier this morning that prompted flash flood watches and warnings, and it's all thanks to a weak frontal boundary that's kind of draped across the area today. Now, the bulk of that activity actually did start to dissipate as it moved eastward this afternoon, kind of leaving most of us with partly to mostly cloudy skies out there, and the radar is quiet this evening, so good news there. Out in the tropics, Gulf of Mexico still looking really good, pretty clear out there. And then looking out into the open Atlantic, we still have tropical depression number 10 way out in the open Atlantic off the coast of Africa, but not really going to be a threat here as we head to the next couple of days, so not going to spend much time on it. Still watching this area. Out in the central Atlantic, a tropical wave, the Hurricane Center gives us about a 60% chance to develop in the next 5 days. But again, it'll kind of recurve out into the open Atlantic and not really be a threat to anybody. And then we're still dealing with now Tropical Storm Isaias was downgraded from a hurricane, and that's because a lot of the deep convection this afternoon really started to dissipate. But we are starting to see a flare up on the northern side this evening. So gradual strengthening once again could be likely here as we head to the next day or so. But the reason for it is a ton of dry air on the western side kind of intruded into this storm, and that never bodes well for tropical systems. But nonetheless, it could briefly get back to hurricane strength here as we head to the next day or so as it makes a beeline for the East Coast. Now, here's the latest advisory as of 4 o'clock. Winds were at 70 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 10. And again, the track pretty similar to what we've been talking about the last couple of days. Takes it right on the eastern coast of Florida here as we head into tomorrow as a weak Category 1 storm, and then races off into the eastern seaboard toward the Carolinas and the New England area as we head into next week as a moderate to strong tropical storm. So tropical impacts likely once again for the East Coast, but no threats to us here in Acadiana. Now, as we turn the calendar to August today, just want to kind of get everybody up to date where we are as far as the hurricane season is concerned, and we're just now starting to get into the thick of things here as our peak usually occurs in mid-August to early October, with the peak of the season being September 10th. So we still have a ways to go here. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated as we head through the remainder of hurricane season. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, things looking to stay fairly quiet out there. Do the day tomorrow. Again, a few isolated storms try to get going tomorrow afternoon, but that trough axis that kept us wet this morning will start to move off to the east slightly tomorrow. So the bulk of the activity looks to stay into southeastern Louisiana, but still with daytime heating and a good bit of low-level moisture still out there. We can't rule out a few isolated storms for tomorrow. Most of that dies down into tomorrow evening, and as we head into Monday, even quieter out there. Clearer skies, rain chances will sit at around 10% to start the work week. So again, lows tonight into the lower to mid 70s with quiet conditions, and then for the day tomorrow, about a 30% chance for isolated activity in our afternoon. Very August-like weather out there with our high temperatures returning to the lower 90s. Now, as we roll through the next 10 days, rain chances will sit at around 10 to 20% each and every afternoon. This forecast really screams August out there with our high temperature sitting in the lower to mid 90s. Now, that'll do it for weather. We have much more coming up right after the break.